Okay, welcome everyone. This is the call that immediately precedes our wonderful Toronto event, which is taking place this weekend. I wanted to begin just by way of, I guess, last minute preparations for those of us that are on the call or that are listening to this post the live call. Some last minute instructions. I know, Maggie, you gave some instruction a few weeks back for those that are flying into the event about getting to the venue. Do you want to just perhaps give a quick recap on that? I know it's about catching a train and it's about 30 minutes. Do you want to help
Yeah, sure.
Understanding?
The easiest thing is the TTC, the Toronto Transit, has a train that goes directly from the airport to Union Station. And Union Station is very close to the hotel, so it's walking distance, or you could grab a cab from there. I think it's about a 30-minute drive, which is faster than coming by taxi because you avoid the traffic and you're straight there, straight line. And it's very reasonable. I don't know, Barb, do you know the price of it?
I don't know because I'll be driving in. I don't have easy access to get the train in.
Okay.
Okay. So if you could walk once you've caught the train to Union Station, or a quick taxi, is that what you're saying?
Yeah. Uber, Lyft, or taxi. All of those three are options in Toronto.
Okay, excellent. Okay, that's great to know because I think there'll be a lot of people that will be flying in for the event. So it's a good reminder for getting there nice and simple, which is always helpful that we arrive comfortably as easily as possible. So I appreciate that. I wanted to spend some time today, since events are so front and center in my mind right now, just to talk about one of these critical behaviors that I think is something that we all desire to improve on. And it's been talked about a lot in the past, but it's worth reiterating because I want to take a leaf out of the book of the team that put on that event in San Francisco recently that had a near 50% attendance being guests. I think that's an incredible ratio. And I think regardless of company or size of business, anyone that develops that kind of a ratio in attending meetings with guests is doing something very right. And we've got a number of events that are taking place right now. We've got this one this weekend, which is happening in Toronto. Just a few weeks after that, of course, we've got a big event taking place in San Antonio, Texas, hosted by Rick and the Texan team out there. Another important event to participate in. We've got an event in November in the UK, and a number of events throughout the month of November and December in France. And then right up there in February, on goes the next big event in Salt Lake. And then we've got the event in San Diego in April. And then away we go. Why do we have all these meetings? Well, first of all, we want to make sure we get the balance right, don't we, between meeting attendance and business building. If all we're doing is attending meetings, then we're going to spend a lot of money and not see much value if that's our primary activity. However, if we're coming to these meetings with guests, with new team members, or with our organization, where we're providing recognition, celebration, business building activity, goal setting opportunities, and a time to regroup or to bring new people into the team, then it becomes a whole different ballgame. And what it becomes then is not so much a cost as an investment, because you're going to get so much back in terms of business activity based on those that are coming with you. So I think that's really important that we can learn to differentiate. It can be costly to attend all these meetings if we're attending by ourselves. But this is not the agenda or objective of any of these meetings. Any event, any meeting that we attend or participate in network marketing needs to be with the agenda that we're coming with someone, that we're bringing prospects, that we're bringing new customers or new consultants or new team members. I think if we have this front and center in our mind and in our activity leading up to that event, then we can have a very different experience financially and, of course, motivationally. Because I would find it far more motivating as a team member to come to an event where I've got a half a dozen or a dozen new people in my team that are attending with me. That would be far more exciting, wouldn't it? So how do we do that? One thing that we're doing, and I'm taking this from the leaf of Dr. Gary Lindner, by the way, who joined us on a UK call just the other week to share some of the things that they did for the San Francisco event not that long ago. And I think this is something worthwhile, because I'd like you to suggest, maybe before I throw out this point, what are some things that you do? Throw this into the chat and we'll read it out. What are some things that you currently do in order to bring people to your team meetings? They may be in homes, they may be your group meetings, your launch partner events. Maybe it might be one of the bigger events, Toronto, San Antonio, Salt Lake, Orlando, or San Diego now, or the UK, to the team that's on the line right now from the UK. What do you do to get people to these meetings? What are some of your marketing strategies or your promotional activities? I'd like you to make a couple of notes and share with the group, please, as to what you do. If you're not doing anything right now and you're going, oh, I can't answer this because I'm not attending or I'm not doing anything, what do you feel you should do? What do you feel is required? Barb Richmond says, I offer a draw for a product at the end of the meeting. I like that. It's good to have some type of incentive, isn't it, to attract people to come along. And free product, free anything, is always motivating, isn't it? That's a great one. Anyone else? Other things that you do to get people to your meetings? Okay, while people are contemplating what to write, I want to elaborate on a couple of points that on what Barb's written just there. I think it's great if we can offer maybe a small gift or an experience, maybe a back rollout or something like that to any guests that attend, maybe for team members. Yes, she's also saying I offer an incentive to bring a guest. I'm doing this for the event in November. For the distributor that brings the most guests to the event, I'm going to offer a prize. Bring in an element of friendly, helpful competition. But what it does is it helps people keep front and center. I need to be bringing prospects or guests or customers, potential customers, to this meeting. Maggie's saying my two newest consultants both have a number of guests for the Toronto event. I've promoted the benefits to them in terms of a business building strategy. I like that. What Maggie's doing there is focusing on the benefits. And I think that's really important. We sell the sizzle, not the sausage, so to speak. Kathleen is saying, and I must say as well, Maggie, a huge congratulations, not just in having new consultants at the event, but having new consultants who have guests that are coming. You can see you're building in width and depth there, which is great business building activity. So my hat is off to you. Well done, well done. Kathleen is saying, our meeting in November, this is a great subject. I think I need to let people know the benefits to coming. Absolutely. And we can find the benefits sometimes in the marketing material. Perhaps along with that, when we talk about what we can do, we have a Facebook event page that we have, that we can share online, invite people directly to participate, to connect, to come along, or email it out so that people can see. Within there, you will have the copy, the marketing copy that you can use to share the benefits. Eventbrite is another way to get the message out as well. And again, similar language there that you can pull to focus on the benefits of the event. And I like what Maggie did there in emphasizing the business building strategies that will come in attending the event. I like that. Ruth is saying, I'm inviting people by edifying the speakers, especially when what they will learn from being there. I think that's great. You know, we've got keynote speakers. Let's listen to who they are and why it would be worthwhile coming along. And I should say, Kathleen, some exciting news for you. For those that are attending the UK event in November, Mike DiMuccio has made the commitment to attend in person. So that will be a great opportunity to bring people along where they'll get to meet Mike in person and get to learn from him firsthand, in the flesh, so to speak. Another thing that I think is really healthy and really important to do, and I don't see this happening enough, and when I get back from Toronto, this is going to be it's going to be my priority. And I deliberately use that word in a singular fashion based on some of my recent conversations where priorities is an incorrect word, because priority should be exclusively singular. My priority is going to be to phone one-on-one people on my in my organization that live in the UK, and invite them personally to come and attend. Share with them the benefits, share with them the reasons why, promote and acknowledge the guest speakers that are joining. Let them know of the incentives, such as the free product for guests, the special prize for distributors that bring guests along, the most guests, and so on. Let them know all of these benefits. But what we're going to do, we're in the process of getting that list compiled and then dividing it amongst everyone, all of the leaders in the UK that are coming, so that we can all proactively phone out and personally extend the invitation for existing distributors in our organizations to come along and participate. And I think the personal invite and doing that is a very, very important part of the strategy. I believe that technology has its place. For calls such as this, it's important. Zoom brings us together collectively from around the world. Facebook has its place. Eventbrite has its place. All of these different things, email and text and so on, but they cannot ever replace exclusively the telephone. And I know we'd love for that to happen. I know we'd love to find other methods that are more attractive and appealing, because so many of us just don't like picking up the phone. We'll shuffle our paperwork, we'll reorganize our contact list, we'll write up new plans and goals, we'll do all sorts of things before picking up the phone. What I would encourage all of us to do as we look to the event this weekend, as we look to the next event in San Antonio or in the UK, or the next launch partners event that you may be hosting or participating in, I would encourage you to do that, to pick up the phone and personally invite people on your list. Don't settle for email. Don't settle for text. Don't settle for mass marketing. Include that. Have multiple methods of communication. Have multiple touch points. But we need to make sure that the personal invites are happening, and they're happening in a timely fashion. We don't want to do it 3 months out and then leave it alone. What we want to do, we're compiling the list now so that 2 to 3 weeks prior to our event in the UK, we're going to start making those phone calls. And within that phone call process, we're also going to make plans to follow up, so that anyone and everyone that says, yes, I will come along, yes, I will bring a guest, yes, I will bring a customer, or what have you, we're going to say, great, we're glad that you're coming. And by the way, we'll give you a call just a couple of days out just to make sure everything's going tickety-boo, everything's going well, and just to make sure that we're all on track for the event, because we don't want you to miss out. It's going to be great. And then reinforce the benefits. One thing that I would add to this is, when we're making the phone calls, of course, there is a particular skill that is being involved or being applied in that process of making the call. And that is, we're extending invitations. Now, what I would suggest when we're applying this skill of extending invitations for someone to make or keep a commitment, in every instance where we do this, I would always encourage you to promise benefits. We talk about promoting benefits at the front end. This is why you want to come along to the meeting. We extend the promise, the benefits, and let them see all the reasons. Then we extend the invitation. And then the third part is, then we promise the benefit of what they will get out of it. And that really kind of links and does a full circle, doesn't it, to the benefits that they've got coming in. So please, I would encourage everyone, as you're participating in this process of inviting people to your meetings, always, 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 after someone has accepted an invitation to keep a commitment or to make one, promise them specific blessings or benefits that will come into their life as a result of keeping that commitment. That gives them added motivation to do that. For example, you can say, I am so thrilled, Kathleen, that you've made the commitment to come along to our meeting in November in Brighton. As I said, this is going to be a great event. Mike DiMuccio, one of our greatest leaders in NECAN, is coming all the way from Canada to provide exclusive training that will benefit you and your business specifically. And I just want you to know that you will get so much out of this, because I know what your goals are and what you want to achieve and develop in your business this coming year. You will get some specific instruction that's going to make a real difference to you. I know that. So be sure to come along. And as you said, be sure to bring that friend of yours that will come along too. They will love it.
Ben, if I can...
Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead, Barbara.
It's never too late, because I have a consultant who doesn't have a computer.
Yeah.
And I follow up with her about every 3 to 4 weeks to give her updates and so forth. Never reaching her, asking her to call me back, never calling me back. And then Sunday night, around 9:30, 10 o'clock at night, she finally calls me and says, "What's this summit?"
Yeah.
So in speaking with her, by the end of the evening, after 3 more calls and after she spoke to Mike, and none of her downline were calling me back either.
Yeah.
She contacted all her downline, and so there's 5 more people coming to the summit this weekend, because
Wow.
she finally returned the call, and that's been going on since February. So
Wow.
it's never too late to keep trying.
Yeah, I love that. That's a great example, Barb, because it really just demonstrates, doesn't it, that those touch points, even if they're small, can be making a difference. And the critical thing for us to understand with that example is, don't ever prejudge. Don't ever get in the way of your own success by predetermining what you believe the outcome should look like. Because we don't always know what's going on behind the scenes. We don't always know what's happening in someone's life that prevents them from saying yes in a moment, to being able to pick up the phone and respond, or to reply to your message in the first place. So I think it's really important that we don't prejudge, and we continue with love and kindness, and with gentleness and persuasiveness, to continue to reach out and to give people the hand of invitation to join us. So great point. I want to bring the call to an end here. I know it's 20 minutes in, but I think we've touched this point strongly enough. I want to extend an invitation to everyone. But before I do, I want you to know that all of these events that are being hosted are designed to be for our good. They promote, train, educate, and reward the benefits of business building. But they are not designed to be exclusively for us alone. I'm thrilled when I hear examples from Barbara and from Maggie McGee, for example, where they are sharing, we've got people in our team and people with guests coming within our organization to the event, because that's what makes the difference. These events are designed to be a profit center for you by bringing guests along. It means that you don't need to go through all the stress and headache and hassle of building websites, of hosting events, of arranging contracts with venues, and dealing with all of the headaches and stress of event management. You can just focus on bringing your team, bringing your prospects, bringing guests, and building your organization and making them a part of it. So please, I'd encourage you.
Ben?
Yeah.
Hey, it's Barbara Bertuzzi in Florida. How are you?
Hey, good, Barbara.
Hey, I was at the event in California, and I just wanted to underline a few things, because there actually was a few missed opportunities.
Okay.
And I just want to make sure that when you're at the event, you work the event, and your main job is to be the connector and not share all the things, but to go and introduce them to like-minded people or people you think that they would associate with, and do as many live 3-ways, ABCs, as you can. And in that, make your mental notes of what was the incentive, what were the questions, what were the things. And sometimes it's a little intimidating, so I always use it as a photo op.
Yeah.
To get them with the Royal Diamond or the doctor or the other, because you know, we had a lot of guests, and we were logistically speaking and doing some other things. So it was interesting, and it was fun, and it was great. I just don't want people to realize, oh, I'm there, and, you know, especially the new ones, to go around and know that it's okay to go up to somebody and say, do you have a second? Can I introduce my good friend? And, you know, here's my business associate, or here's a, you know, Royal Diamond on the such and such team, or, you know, and really work the room that way, because I think that that's vital to do.
Barbara, I think that's a great point, is working the room and connecting the guests with other people at the event, help them immediately feel a sense of community, I think is really good. And I think one thing that we can do more of as well, I haven't seen this much since I've been in NECANN, but I have seen it in other businesses, and I think it's a really important thing as well, is to have a table. We have product displays at the back of the room in many instances. We have them at the front, you know, to kind of support the view of the speaker, but we'll also have them at the back where we can do demonstrations and things and breaks. But what we also need to do is get tables out there with application forms, and with someone sat there to help people register and sign up and join the business. If we've got prospects that are business partners, potential business partners, we can introduce them to the Royal Diamonds, to the other key leaders at the event. We can get their questions answered. We can have all the paperwork there that is required, so that in that moment when they are feeling the inspiration the strongest, we can take them over to that table and invite them to sit down and fill in the paperwork right there and then. And then we can be taking the paperwork.
That's brilliant too, because I think we also need to have the packs.
Yeah.
The price of the packs, you know, whether it's wholesale, retail, I don't know, because some people do just want to be customers. So I'm not quite sure. Maybe it's the retail price, and then you can say with wholesale you'll get just such discount. But to have the picture of the pack there as well now, or just the Wi-Fi code and some iPads so they can just sign them up right there. That's another thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Get them linked in.
Exactly. Yeah, you're right. That's the key thing, is let's connect them straight away while the energy and the commitment and the inspiration is there, right? That's always the best time to have someone make a commitment.
Well, and you know, and to have things in your bag, have your, you know, power band or seat, or I know when I flew, I took the little sample comforter and I sat on it, and I had my sample, you know, insoles, and I sat on those. So you could take the insoles, put them under their feet. You could let the little blanket be there, you know, just so they experience something and stay awake. You can actually see people that are starting to, you know, just get, you know, I'm going to say fanny fatigue, you know, just sitting in the chair. But I was like, oh, wait, let's put this on you, or let's put this on you. And then they'll experience the products as well, which is really great, especially if they're first time seeing it as a guest and such. And we had about, I'd say of the 50 guests that I know of, close to 10 really didn't know anything about NECANN except the bone health pack. And I was like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
So anyway, I just thought I would, you know, be out there and just, you know, wish y'all well on your great event. I will not make it to Toronto. I'll be in San Antonio, and, you know, it's just an amazing thing to help people and to rekindle yourself. I love NECANN Now, and that's how I share it. NECANN Now. You got to see NECANN Now, NECANN Now, NECANN Now. So thanks, Ben, for all you do. It's awesome.
Oh, thank you, Barbara. Really appreciate it. And you said some really profound words, and we'll finish on that point. My invitation is, let's go out there and make every meeting count by doing that work that's required to get the people into the meetings so that it can become profitable for your business. Wouldn't it be great to have all of these people that we bring as guests buying product on the day, signing up as new distributors on the day? What better time to do it when you've got Royal Diamonds and Diamonds in the room doing all the legwork on your behalf, introducing them to the wider team, helping them feel a part of the community, having product experiences right there and then. There's never a better time for someone to make a commitment. Let's get them in that environment and let's get them having a positive experience, and it will grow your business as a result. So thank you all very much. Glad that you've all been with me today. For those of you on the call that are going to be in Toronto this weekend, I look forward to seeing you in a couple of days. Kim and I fly out early tomorrow morning. So we'll see you there. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.